Welcome to our podcast on partnering. I'm Elizabeth Johnson.
I'm Calah Reynolds.
I'm Rachel Hinton, and we are EDM 310 students at the University of South Alabama.
In this podcast, we will be answering some questions about partnering. We'll be discussing what partnering is, student and teacher roles in partnering, the benefits of partnering, and how to facilitate it in the classroom.
So what exactly is partnering? We've heard where students are partners actually in school, but we've never heard of the teacher and the students being partners.
Well, partnering can mean different things to different people. Mark Prinsky says that partnering means letting students focus on the parts of the learning process that they're good at and letting the teachers focus on the part of the learning process that they can do best as well.
Prinsky prefers the term partnering because it emphasizes more of the roles of each group. Like students and teachers are different, but they're equal in the same way.
So there are two different roles to partnering. There are student roles and there's teachers roles.
One of the roles is a student as a researcher, and instead of telling the students what they need to do, it is requiring them to research it and figure it out on their own. And then they share it with their peers and teachers for evaluation.
Another role of students is the students as a self-teacher. Students are able to teach themselves. They are not dependent on the teacher to feed them the information that they need. So if the students are not dependent on the teacher, then what are some teacher roles?
One of the teacher roles is a teacher as a coach and a guide, and it's where the teacher has daily and long-term goals for the class as a whole, and then they set each student free to reach these goals on his or her own way, providing assistance when needed. And then the role of the guide is it implies taking the students on a journey, and it allows teachers to provide a much more personalized information for the students.
Another teacher role is teachers as a goal setter and questioner. You know, in the last week in class, we discussed the importance of questions in the classroom. Questions are needed in the classroom in order to allow students to engage in critical thinking and in learning. This role is almost always used as guiding questions for students to answer, which are typically open-ended in both overarching questions and more detailed ones as well.
Another role teachers have is teacher as learning designers. As teachers, we need to make it interesting. You want your students to stay engaged, make it different than just PowerPoints and worksheets all the time. So if teachers and students fulfill these roles, what kind of benefits are we looking at?
Partnering will allow students to be independent learners.
Partnering offers a different way of learning for students, and it helps them eliminate burnt bag education.